Once upon a time, in a small village nestled among the rolling hills, there lived a young man named Akira. Akira was known throughout the village for his restless mind. He was always thinking, analyzing, and worrying about the past and the future. He always felt exhausted because of his endless thoughts and could never find peace. One day, Akira heard about a renowned Zen master who lived on top of a distant mountain. People said that this Zen master held the secret to achieving peace and tranquility in the soul. Curious and eager to find serenity, Akira decided to undertake a difficult journey to seek the master. After days of climbing mountains and crossing streams, Akira finally reached the mountain peak. He saw the Zen master sitting in deep meditation, his eyes gently closed, as if he were merging with the universe. Akira stepped forward, bowed respectfully, and said, "My mind is always restless, and I long for peace. Please teach me how to empty my mind." The Zen master opened his eyes, smiled gently, and said, "You wish to empty your mind? Very well, I will teach you." Then, he led Akira to a small courtyard in the garden. In the middle of the courtyard, there was a large stone basin filled with water. The Zen master picked up a ladle, scooped water from the basin, and poured it into a small bowl. Then he turned to Akira and said, "Your task is to empty this basin by transferring all the water into this small bowl without spilling a single drop." Akira looked at the task before him and felt puzzled. How could he pour all the water from a large basin into such a small bowl? But not wanting to disappoint the Zen master, he began the task. Akira carefully scooped each ladle of water and patiently poured it into the small bowl. Hour after hour, Akira kept working. Despite his best efforts, the basin still seemed full. Frustration gradually took over his mind, and he became more discouraged than ever. The Zen master observed Akira for a long time, then gently placed his hand on his shoulder and said, "Akira, you are trying so hard to empty the basin, but you have forgotten the most important thing. Before emptying the basin, you must first empty your mind." Akira looked at the Zen master, his eyes filled with confusion. "But master, how do I empty my mind?" The Zen master smiled and replied, "Let go of your worries, fears, and attachments. Focus only on the task at hand. Be fully present in this moment, and everything will flow naturally." Akira closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and let go of his anxieties. Instead of forcing himself to complete the task, he simply focused on each scoop of water, enjoying the feeling of it flowing through his hands and listening to its gentle sound. When his mind became calm, something miraculous happened. The water seemed to pour more smoothly, and little by little, the basin emptied. Finally, when Akira poured the last drop of water into the small bowl, he looked up at the Zen master with amazement and gratitude. "Do you see, Akira?" The Zen master smiled. "When you empty your mind, you allow the universe to flow through you. You become one with the task at hand, and everything falls into place." At that moment, Akira realized that peace was not something external that he needed to search for. It had always been within him. Only when he let go of his worries and focused on the present moment could he truly experience tranquility in his soul. From that day on, Akira carried the Zen master's lesson with him everywhere. He was no longer trapped in endless thoughts about the past or future. Instead, he cherished every moment of life, finding joy and serenity in the simplest things. When Akira returned to his village, everyone noticed the change in him. He was no longer the anxious young man they once knew. he had become calm, wise, and at peace. When people came to ask him the secret of his newfound tranquility, he simply smiled and said, "Do not try to control everything, and do not dwell on things beyond your reach. Live fully in the present, and your mind will naturally become light." The story of Akira and the Zen master's lesson spread far and wide. Those who sought peace in their souls came to listen to his advice. They gradually understood that happiness does not come from what they achieve, but from how they embrace and live each moment. Years passed, and Akira often returned to the mountain to visit the Zen master who had shown him the right path. Each time he came, he would sit silently next to his teacher, contemplating life and the simple yet profound truths it held. And so, the Zen master's lesson lived on, not just in Akira's heart, but in the hearts of many others. Those who were willing to let go and live fully in the present moment would always find the peace they had been searching for. And so, Akira discovered that peace was never something to chase. It was something to embrace within. Like him, you too can free your mind. Stop clinging to the past. Stop fearing the future. Just be present, and everything will fall into place. If this story resonated with you, share your thoughts below. What's one way you practice mindfulness in your daily life? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and explore more stories that inspire a peaceful mind. Sparkle.